Hi, my consultant asked me a question and he asked it in front of a big group of doctors. I knew the answer, but I didn't want to because what if it is wrong? What if it is the not right answer? What if even if it's right, everyone is going to look at me? I cannot. Guys, that's all about low self-confidence. And to be successful in life, to achieve something in life, a lot of self-confidence has to be there in your bucket list. So what is this self-confidence? This self-confidence is the ability to know one's worth. If I am faced with challenges, if I am faced with problems, if I am faced with decision-making thoughts, I can do it. Whatever happens, I can find a solution to the whole thing. That's self-confidence. Whether you do it correctly, whether you do it wrongly is not the question here. So some of the things, how do we develop this self-confidence? I'm going to talk in very brief. How do we develop self-confidence? Number one, achieve small goals. We all have big goals. We all say by the time I'm 30, by the time I'm 40, I am going to be this. I'm going to have a wife and children of 2 children at least, maybe by the time I'm in my 40s. I might be in career in this kind of a position. I want to have enough money in my bank so that I can take my family out for luxurious trips or an outings, or I want to buy a house by the time I'm 35. But what happens if you are suppose in your 20s, 30, 35, 40 are long-term goals, fantastic goals, but it's too far away. It takes time to achieve, and sometimes we lose the motivation. So it's important, break down those big goals. Plan out your big goals, long-term goals, write it on pen and paper, and then decide how do I work backwards. So if in the next 10 years I want to be able to buy a house, what are the things I need to do? Plan it out backwards in such a way, in the next 1 year I'm going to achieve this. In the next 2 years I'm going to have a goal of depositing this much amount, or taking some insurance, or thinking of 2 kids which I can manage in schools. So work backwards. When you have small achievement goals and when you can achieve them, the motivation kicks in. So important is, then you're working towards the bigger goal, but you're working stepwise. So do not have long-term goals. Keep them in your pen and paper and work backwards. So that's one of the important things. I think the second important thing, if you want to develop a high level of self-confidence, is have self-compassion. When I talk about self-compassion, I mean, do not judge yourself harshly. We all make mistakes. We all do wrong things sometimes. But the important thing is when we analyze and see where we made that mistake and ensure that it's corrected, that's the positive way. So do not say this project failed because I was not right. I had too many dreams, or because I was not working hard. Don't judge yourself harshly. Instead, from the negative things and the wrong things that happen in your life, learn. Then surround yourself with positive people. When I say positive people, not someone who keeps on egging you and say you're great, you're doing this, but positive people who really help you out by saying, hey, you made a mistake, but it doesn't matter. Let's sit and do what is it you can do to improve on the previous consequences. So surround yourself with positive people who want to look forward to doing something good in life. Do not surround yourself with lazy people, with negative people who can only pull you down. The crab mentality? If one crab is trying to climb out of a box, there'll be dozen other crabs trying to pull it down. That's the crab mentality. So do not surround yourself with people having a crab mentality. Another important thing is, lead a healthy lifestyle. When I say healthy lifestyle, I'm talking about good diet, good exercise, meeting good people, traveling and seeing new places with family, sometimes with friends, but keep yourself energized. When you know you're feeling fit, when you know you're feeling good, when you know people look at you and say, hey, man, you kept yourself good, you've kept yourself fit, that works. That's one of the best motivations that can happen. So do not fill yourself with things like junk food. Important. Ensure those. But then you can ask a question. Well, these are good things, are good points to be kept in mind to increase self-confidence. But anything they can suggest on a day-to-day basis that can really kick the motivation in? Yes. In gatherings, we find people always trying to sit at the back. When asked, they say, no, I think let it be for the VIPs and people who know what's going on. I prefer to be at the back. I have yet another group of people who have once told me when I asked them, they said, isn't it better that someone says, come and sit in front rather than someone saying, go at the back? Good, I know that's a good question, and a good answer, but you are giving the onus, the loci of being recognized as someone important to someone else. What if they don't recognize you? You'll feel bad. So go, sit in front. I'm not talking the first 1 or 2 seats if they are meant for VIPs, but maybe the 3rd or the 4th row, because you are important to yourself. So do not always be a backbencher. Then, some other things that can help us in increasing our self-confidence is eye contact. When you're talking to people, look them in the eye. When you do not make eye contact, it means I am lesser than you. I am guilty of something. I'm not so capable as you. No, we are all capable. Even if we are not capable in that particular arena, make eye contact. Make pleasant conversation. Another thing I would say is your walk. The way you walk when you enter a room, when you enter a space, that is important. Even if you're trembling inside, walk with style. Walk with your shoulders held back. Walk with a light smile. Do not slouch. You know what slouching shows? That I'm sad or I have a lot of burdens on me. I cannot take these burdens. Yes, we all have burdens. It's not just you and me. But the way we walk into a place, our presence is seen. So how you sit, how you make eye contact, how you walk are all important. So in the end, I would just like to add, we all have a memory bank. It's important what you put into the memory bank and what you withdraw. In your memory bank, yes, positive and negative experiences are there. But those of us who want to be successful will only withdraw those positive experiences. Sometimes we say, oh, I'm too sensitive. I'm not like you. I can't be thick-skinned. Why not? Be thick-skinned. Be thick-skinned so that life, when it gives its punches, you're able to take it. Being sensitive, giving yourself that excuse doesn't work in today's world. So get a thick skin. Do not be sensitive. Do not withdraw from that memory bank of yours negative experiences. Withdraw positive experiences. Work on it. Smile upon it. Good positive experiences of the past and see that you go further ahead. So guys, when I talk about self-confidence, just remember a couple of these things. And the most important is practice what we have talked about today. Practice initial stuff. Initially, you can't talk in a conference. Initially, when you go onto a stage, you're not able to open a mouth. But once you decide, I've done that. When I walked on first time onto the stages a couple of times, I have done that. I have looked at people and I said, God, they're more knowledgeable, more senior to me. But then I decided in my mind, hey, they do not know what I know in this particular topic and I'm going to max it. When you talk yourself, that self-talk, the world is yours. So have a lovely day. Build up your self-confidence because a high level of self-confidence increase your self-esteem, which is very important. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.